Hotep. My name is Ram Hotep, broadcasting on behalf of 13scienceastrology.com. Thank you for watching this video. This is part 2 to who is Lucifer and who is Satan. Now, from part 1, I had a great response on part 1. Thank everybody for that. And just to let everybody know, for this part 2, it's probably going to be the last one for right now, unless you have specific questions in regards to this information, because I don't want to give out too much information right now through YouTube. But if you have specific questions, I'll definitely answer your questions. There's a few other things, a few points that I missed that I wanted to point out in part 2 of this video. Now, some people are saying that Lucifer and Satan are the same beings, and it's just basically two different words to describe the same being. And that's not the case. If you're saying that, you need to get you a good dictionary, and you need to look up the term Lucifer, you need to look up the term Satan. That's the first thing you need to do, because you will obviously see that there are two different meanings for these words. If they meant the same thing, then it would be one word for it. It's just like saying, well, my name is Ra, but if you call me Ba and Ra, then that means the same thing. Ba and Ra means two totally different things. So that just sounds like somebody that basically, like I said, is Christianized. And I know, like, the reason why I use the Bible a lot and everything, because I realize that a lot of our people have, you know, we're up under the doctrine of Christianity, and we don't realize that Christianity is only 2,000 years old. And it's no matter, like, what, it doesn't matter what I say on this video. If you're really totally brainwashed by a Luciferian doctrine called Christianity, then you're not going to believe anything I say, and you're going to get upset from anything that I say. So I really have nothing to prove to you, but I still like to use the Christianity doctrine, as far as not the Christianity doctrine, but I like to use the Bible, because the Bible actually came from those ancient texts that documented the original truth. And if you read the Bible in its original languages, you'll see that it's coded, and it has everything that I'm talking about is inside of the Bible. From unicorns to dragons to everything. It's right inside of your Bible. It's nothing that I'm talking about right now that's not in your Bible. So that's why I like to use the Bible or whatever as far as quotes is concerned and everything like that. Because, you know, I mean, I have a little bit of background in the Bible, and I understand the Bible enough to be able to pull out and extract the jewels from it, to be able to use it as a teaching piece to teach from. And that's all it is. And a lot of people, I mean, I respect, you know what I'm saying, people that are in religions and things like that. So I try to at least quote them. I quote everything from their books. But as far as Lucifer, like I said, is different from Satan, totally different from Satan. Now I'm going to give you some more attributes of the Luciferians to help you to understand what they do. Now the Luciferians, like I said, they are reptilians, but they can be humanoid looking. They can be any type of species, because I went into this in the first video, is that Lucifer basically is just a title. So the Luciferians, there are various different breeds of Luciferians. Some of them are mammalian looking, like they're like mammals. Those are Luciferians. But the way that you will know them is that Luciferians feed off of other people's energy. They're like ticks. They're like vampires. They're like bloodsuckers. They can't exist. They're not creative. Like, you know how somebody's like creative and they can just create things, like they don't need anybody's energy. They could be in a situation where they have nothing and they can create their way out of their situation. They can use their own creative energy, like artists. Artists will really understand what I'm saying. Like, an artist is very creative. He doesn't need anybody's energy to be able to create. He creates from within, based on, you know what I'm saying, how he interprets what he sees. He creates based off of that. So that's like a creative person. Whereas there are artists that are like reptilians or Luciferians. Not reptilians, but there are artists that are Luciferians, whereas they need to be around another artist that's actually creative, and they steal his work. Like, say for instance, like a musician or a good rapper. They'll steal the good rapper's work and then act like it's theirs. And you have some artists out there that do that, as far as, you know, in the music industry. That's how you know a Luciferian, because they feed off of other people's energy. They're like vampires. And they're actually, they are similar to the planet Venus, to help you to understand how they are. They're very brilliant. They're very, they have creativity, but it's a reflection. Like I said, it's based off of somebody else's energy. They need somebody else's energy in order to be able to create. So it's not that they can't create, but they can only create from something that's already there. So they're very much like Venus. They're very brilliant, very intelligent. They use intelligence. Like, they're very intelligent. They're not. They're even like very intuitive, very intuitive. So they need your energy in order to be able to exist. It's like they're ticks. It's like they're ticks. And the way to really understand it is like look at this planet as far as like this world the way it's designed right now. The world is designed right now to where if everybody, and I'm not saying everybody should do this because you know people got to do what they got to do. I'm not telling you to go quit your job. I'm not telling you to stop paying your bills. But the world is designed right now off of everything that they provide you in the Matrix is free. So like if they provide you some power, you really power and energy is free. If they provide you with food, really food is free. It grows. You plant the seed and it grows. So the way that the Luciferian world is set up, this is how you know we're in a Luciferian world is because it's based off of your own creative energy, which means that it only exists if you put your energy into it. That's the only reason why it exists. So if you start to be like, well, I'm gonna use my mind and create from my mind, I'm not gonna depend on anything on the outside for my sustenance, then you're breaking free from the Luciferian control, and that's what they don't want. As far as because they need your energy to exist. So they set it up. The Luciferians are like more passive than the Satanists. The Luciferians just set it up, like I said, they're like Venus. So they basically set it up to where they use the the feminine principle to control everything, to where like they introduce money and they get you caught up in the rat race and they get you to put your energy into it. So they don't even have to be there with you, but they control you without physically. They don't have to put a gun to you to control you. They don't have to do these things because they basically got the game set up to where you basically put your energy into it and it keeps going, keeps sustaining itself. And this goes for paying bills, working a job, going to their educational systems and things of that nature. Now really from my research, the Satanists came after the Luciferians. They came from out of that group. The Satanists depend on the Luciferians' agenda because the Satanists, they seek control, but their thing is like more so longevity. They roll with the system that the Luciferians already have set up because the Luciferians came before the Satans. Like Lucifer was first. He was brilliant. He was intelligent. He was a light. They used the light to deceive you and control you. So they set up this whole grid and this whole system the way it's set up so that they can keep their thing going. Now the Satanists are different because their whole thing kind of like takes part in as far as like the afterlife and the reincarnation process and all of that. Their whole thing is to make sure that you don't become spiritual enough to where you pass the test of the Luciferians. So the Luciferians got it set up to where they don't get involved. But the Satanists, they're more hands-on. Their whole thing is this. It's like they don't want you to basically evolve past the need for these things on the outside. They want you to stay material. They want you to need the sex. They want you to need the money. They want you to need the food. They want you to need the stuff that they provide for you. They need you to need that because if you graduate, then they're not going to have a world because the Satanists know that they're trapped in a physical reality. Like the whole world of Lucifer and Satan and all of this is based on material, matter, physicality. So when Lucifer first came, the term matter goes back to the term mother because when Lucifer first came, he manifested under the gender of a woman. Now I'm not saying that women are Lucifer. Don't get it twisted. I'm speaking to you on a metaphysical principle. When Lucifer first came to this planet, he manifested as a woman, as matter. So basically what that's pointing out is that that's why the term matrix goes back to the woman or mother. When he designed the matrix, he based it off of, like I said, beauty, material. He based it off the passive principle. You know what I'm saying? He set up this whole thing based off of that. So when he first incarnated to this planet from Venus, Venus is a feminine planet, but he incarnated as a woman. Now, when you deal with certain levels of dimensions, when you get so high, there is no gender. So like all you women out there are watching this, I'm not saying that you guys are the devil or anything like. I'm not saying that. I mean, I want you to really understand what I'm saying. It's a metaphysical principle. He came under the software of a woman because he used that blueprint to set this up. He had to come up under the way that like a woman's rationality. She's more material. She needs certain things to survive, and that's rightfully so. I mean, a woman is a woman, and no, she's in her body. And another thing I want to point out is that when you really get into metaphysics and things like that, the Luciferians and the Satanists and all of that, you learn how to like work with their energy to get to the next level. I mean, we are in the Matrix, so you know women need certain things to make it to the next level. Like you're going to need money and things like that to do anything. Like I needed money to be able to talk to you right now because I need money to be able to afford a computer to talk to you and stuff like that. So I'm not like spooky spiritual to where I'm like, let's just let go of everything and let's just basically just be here. I mean, we can get to the point where we just be, but we're still going to have to graduate through the levels of the Luciferian game that he got set up. So we got to climb up, like they say, climb up Jacob's ladder. We got to climb up Jacob's ladder. So we have to get through the material or the matter. See, Lucifer rules in matter, or the mother, or the matters of the world, the cares of the world. But the way to beat the game is this. This is how you beat the game. Even though you're in it, like Jesus said, I'm in it, but I'm not of it. So you play the game, but you don't allow the game to control you mentally. You play, it's a game. You know that it's a game. So that means you don't take it serious. You don't worry. You don't doubt. You don't fear. You don't deal with those demons that I said in the last video when I dealt with demons. You don't deal with those demons, meaning you don't allow these things to take control of you. You play the game. You learn the rules, and you play the game, because that's what they're doing. So you got to learn the rules, and you got to learn how to play the game. So this is basically, and then Satan, like I said, he wants to control. Satan goes back to Saturn. So Saturn is about structure, karma, and control. So Satan wants to get you to get caught up into a cycle of karma. See, that's his goal, so that you will always stay physical. So they both work hand in hand. It's just two different principles. It's two different metaphysical principles. Lucifer dealt with the beauty, the structure of the matrix, the material, and forming it and structuring it. And then Satan, not really structuring it, but forming the beauty and the attraction of it to make you addicted to it and, appealing to the five senses. But Satan, he's about the structure and the control of it. Like, he wants to keep you caught in the karma of it. That's why Saturn and Satan are the same terms, because he wants to get you caught up in the karma of it. I have a video on Saturn if you want to better understand Saturn, because that's how the Satanists work. So you have to honor, what I'm saying is this, on a metaphysical principle, you have to honor these different entities so that you can graduate and don't get caught up in their game. You honor it, meaning you master the game and you move on to the next level. So that's going to do it for me on the Satanists and the Luciferians and pretty much how they operate. I hope this gives you a little more insight. For more videos, visit my website, 13signs astrology.com. Thank you for watching.